last week when Donald Trump lost in federal court and foreign students are allowed to re-enter the United States or stay in the United States if they are on a student visa. Remember, Trump wanted to kick everybody out if they were going to go online. Well, the federal court said, no, you're allowed to stay in America on your student visa, take online classes. You're also allowed to re-enter on a visa if you already have your student visa to take online classes or in-person classes. But what Trump has now done with students is if you are a new student, the first time you are going to enter the United States of America to take your first class, well, now he just passed a rule that says you can't do it. Now, several universities, including Harvard and MIT, they're pretty mad. The guidance was issued Friday. It makes it clear that new international students looking to study in America will need to enroll in an institution at least offering one in-person class, even if their peers only are taking online classes. Now, it's kind of odd, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, because, you know, Trump wants to reopen the economy and he wants people to come in and spend their money. And he wants American businesses to make money, yet he's barring perhaps up to 1 million students from entering the United States of America. Last year, according to the U.S. Department of Commerce, international students contributed $45 billion to the U.S. economy. $45 billion. It is a huge, huge industry that Trump is now trying to destroy. The man is just a no good, dirty, rotten guy who doesn't. I'm trying to keep it clean, Yo-Yo. I'm trying to keep it clean.
You're doing great.
But he is a dirty, rotten, dirty guy. I'm serious, because he doesn't care about coronavirus. He doesn't want people who do not come from white Europe to enter America. And that is really what it comes down to. He doesn't want foreigners. As a matter of fact, he's at war with Europe's too. I don't think he wants anybody these days. But certainly he doesn't want immigrants coming to America. He's made it clear, and he feels that's a winning platform for him. Yet almost 70% of Americans say they want some path to fix our immigration system and make people here legal who are illegal. So I don't know if it's a winning system, a winning platform, unless he feels that, you know, a majority of his base of voters are going to come vote for him because he doesn't like people who are not white. I don't know. Do you think there's that many people out there?
I don't think there is that many people out there. I mean, he also didn't win the popular vote, so I don't think it's the majority that feels the same way he feels, you know?
His thing with getting reelected is basically, I'm law and order. I'm going to protect you from all of the people who are protesting. Everyone who's protesting is violent. Everybody who is violent is a minority. They want to overthrow America. They, whoever they are, want to change your life and your lifestyle. And it's total scare tactic. And this is part of the whole entire thing of, I'm going to bar immigrants from coming to the United States of America because it's immigrants that are coming to kill you. All right?
Right.
I mean, how many Fox News reports have we watched for 3 years? Immigrant came and killed somebody, and they found 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 immigrants over 3 years that killed people. Yeah. Yet we're living every day with coronavirus. Trump does nothing about it. 140,000 people dead.
Which is another way of killing people.
That's okay.
If you really ask me, that's more of a terrorist than anything
else. Of
course,
but he's not doing it because if he mentions coronavirus, it's not good for his reelection. The Immigration Service, they are now pushing back their furlough program. Everyone was scared on August 3rd that 70% of the Immigration Service officers were going to be fired and cases were going to be put on hold. Well, now the furlough program has been pushed back to at least August 31st. The immigration agency previously said they were going to furlough up to 13,000 people. Now they blame the pandemic for a decline in incoming revenue from the fee-based agency. But we all know, Jonathan and Vanessa, that is BS. It is a whole political thing. There's plenty of money to process immigration paperwork. Okay? There is plenty of money to do it. They just don't want to do it. Trump doesn't want to do it. He wants to look like he's tough on immigration, stop immigration everywhere, stop legal immigration. You know, and the funny thing is Trump used to say, well, I'm all in favor of legal immigration. I'm just against illegal immigration. Well, you know what? Number one, back when he was saying that, they didn't really make a lot of good options for people to come here legally. Okay? Now he's cutting back on legal immigration. No students. Yep. Let's cut funding to USCIS. People who are doing it legally. We need anybody but him.
Right.
I got the idea.
What's the idea?
Let's vote for Joe Biden. I got it.
Yes.
Because that is anybody but mind-blowing stuff here for Brad Show Live. We all vote for Joe Biden. I think most people would. Simply because I can't handle any more of this. He every day stresses everybody out. I don't know how. I was telling somebody over the weekend. I said, "How does anybody vote for him?" The stress and the craziness that he has done in America.
His own party.
I just was shown. I don't know if we have it. Maybe we'll show it another day. I was just shown a Trump video for his reelection. You know, with the protests and coronavirus and everything going on. You know, it's like Trump's law and order thing. And he ends, he goes, "This is Biden's America." And I'm like, that's not Biden's America.
That looks like Trump's America
That's Trump's America. Okay,
Yeah.
Biden's America was with Obama between 2008 and 2016. I mean, Trump is showing video from Trump America and claiming it's Biden's America. It's not Biden's America.
And they have Trump stamp. Like, they have Trump stamps that clearly says, like, May 28th. Like, who was the president at the time?
With Obama, we didn't have this craziness. We had environmental protection. We had at least the start of a minority, the first minority president of the United States, as a start, not the end, but a start of trying to make America more fair to everybody. You know, unfortunately, we got Trump back. This here, when you see Obama and Biden in the Situation Room, I think that was the day they got Osama bin Laden. Those were nice days. People were employed. We weren't at war with anybody. I mean, you know, Obama wasn't perfect. He made many mistakes. There's many things I didn't like what he did. Okay, nobody's saying he's perfect. But compared to where we are today,
anxiety was not this high every single day. And even though people could say all that they want to say about Barack Obama, but the country had some sort of peace. Like, there were moments. Peace. It wasn't like every day there's something new. Every day there's something new. He's tackling someone else. He's saying something on Twitter. He's attacking, you know, this group or that group. And I just feel I was definitely younger during the Obama presidency, old enough to vote for Obama at the time. But I can just remember, like, my younger, like, 20, I just didn't feel the way that I feel now. And, like, I'm older and I'm comprehending politics more and more each day. But it was not this overwhelmed.
For everybody's mental well-being.
Yeah.
Okay, for everybody's mental well-being, we need a new leader. Just for mental health.
Yeah, mental health.
Okay, because every day we wake up to craziness. Biden said his rough date, what are we now, July 27th. He said August 1st, by August 1st, he will have picked his vice president, coming up in another 2 or 3 days. Who do you think? Is it going to be the top four? Elizabeth Warren, you know who she is, right? Kamala Harris, Susan Rice. You know who Susan Rice was? Yep. She was in the Obama administration. She was the ambassador to the United Nations under President Obama. By the way, really well spoken. The only thing that she has going against her is she's never run for public office, but very well spoken woman.
Right.
And Tammy Duckworth, who is a senator from Illinois, and she used to be a Iraq veteran. She lost her legs in war in Iraq, as a matter of fact.
Right.
We have the second tier. I'm not saying second tier because they're less qualified, it's just less likely to be picked, but you never know. The congressman from California, Karen Bass.
They said that she's pretty serious as well,
She's a serious woman. Yeah, they've been mentioning her a lot lately.
I like her.
I don't know enough about her. She's the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. So if she's the chairperson of the Congressional Black Caucus, her peers voted her their leader.
Right. I mean, I did read some stuff about her. Like, she's been a prominent figure for police reform and then legislation on public health and then, you know, student debt. that's a big thing with me. So I was reading a lot about her, and she's pretty big and global with human rights as well. So to have somebody like her to represent, I would feel a lot better than some of the others that I saw.
What about Val Demings? She's a congresswoman from Orlando. Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor for Atlanta.
I think she's too new in the game.
That's why this is more kind of the second tier people. Not to say they're not qualified. When I say second tier, I'm saying less likely, but you never know. You never know.
I mean, because look at our president today.
Right. What tier was he in?
Who?
Our current president. What tier did we have here?
His tier? Everybody thought it was a joke. Everybody thought it was a joke when he was running. Nobody took him seriously.
It literally was like a Kanye West.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, it's the birthday party, right?
And he's just chilling in the White House right now, y'all.
If I had to take a guess, I say it's either Kamala Harris or Susan Rice. If I had to take a guess.
I think Kamala.
Kamala?
I put Susan in my top two, too. I have Susan in my top two. I think it's just comforting to know that they've worked together in the past. So there's already an understanding and there's a relationship there. And they come from the Obama administration, which, again, we know had its flaws because it's still an administration run by humans, but there's more fluidity in their relationship. So moving forward into this new revolution, when hopefully Biden becomes our president, if that's the case, they've already worked together in the past. So.
Yeah. The one thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Yo-Yo. The one thing with Susan Rice, and then I'll let Yo-Yo you speak, is she's never run for public office before. So this will be the first time she's ever run for public office. That's the knock against her. And the knock against Kamala Harris is that when she was the attorney in California, the state attorney general in California, she was a very, very lock 'em up state attorney general. She would throw the book at a lot of people who were found guilty. So a lot of people feel that she was maybe a little harsh or unfair with some of, maybe not all, but certainly some of the cases that came across her desk. So that's the knock against her. What do you think, Yo-Yo, quickly?
I mean, there's pros and cons for everybody, and I think the fact that she attacked Biden so harshly during the primaries, I think that it's a good. It'll turn into a good relationship if they actually sit down and start talking about each other's policies. The pros and cons for both of them. That was a big con for me for Kamala as well. That because I know a lot of people that are thrown in jail for dumb stuff. That was pretty big, but I think their relationship would kind of mesh. They're very strong-headed, and I think that if they come to a certain medium, then they can be, really strong together.
Johns Hopkins, there's now 16.3 million coronavirus cases worldwide. 9.4 million people have recovered. The U.S. has 25% of coronaviruses worldwide. 60%, according to Yelp, 60% of all restaurant closures in the United States are going to be permanent. 6 out of every 10 restaurants that closed because of coronavirus are not opening up again. That is a huge, huge, huge number. Vaccines by Moderna, that is being backed by the National Institute of Health. It's a U.S. company. They have started phase 3 of their vaccine trials. They're going to vaccinate 30,000 people. And they're going to give a shot this week to up to 30,000 people or in the next week or two. And they are going to follow it up with a second shot 28 days later. The doctors and the patients do not know what is in those shots, meaning that 15,000 of those shots will have the experimental vaccine. The other 15,000 of those shots will be water and sugar. What they're going to do is they're going to track all 30,000 people and see if the 15,000 that got the actual vaccine was less likely to get sick than the 15,000 people who got water and sugar. And then also, they are going to ask the people who got water and sugar how they feel, what their symptoms are. Do they have any side effects? Do they have a headache? Did their arm get red? Because water and sugar does nothing to you. And they're going to then ask the people who actually had the virus and then compare it. So they will know for short term, whether there's any side effects. They will know short term whether or not there is going to be, these vaccines are going to work. What we won't know for 30 or 40 years is what happens to us in 40 years from now. But we will find
That's
out.
true. See, that's the scary part.
Yes. There are some Caribbean countries that are selling citizenship to Americans. Americans are looking to become dual citizens of other countries because they can't leave America. You can become a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis for $150,000 if you buy property valued at $150,000 in St. Kitts and you hold it and you agree to hold it for 7 years, or Nevis. They're going to give you a passport that lets you travel visa-free to the European Union and the United Kingdom. So,
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Right.
It is actually beautiful there.
And you get a passport.
That's an expensive passport, yo-yo.
And you get a passport that allows you to travel.
I mean, you're not paying for the actual passport. You're just paying for the property. To have property for $150,000, that's not bad.
It also helps their economy as long as the money goes to the people and not the bureaucrats. You know, that's my always. You know, who knows what happens with the money, but you know, if it goes to the people, then it certainly helps their economy too.
I think it would be a good investment.
That's all we can hope for. That's all we can hope for, that it goes to the people.
I hope so. I hope so. It's Fuzzy Monday. It is. Fuzzy Monday. It is Fuzzy Monday. Now, after just a few days of training, researchers have trained dogs now to sniff out coronavirus. It only takes dogs now a few days to sniff out coronavirus. The pilot study published Thursday in BMC Infectious Diseases by the University of Veterinary Medicine in Hanover reported that 8 dogs from Germany's armed forces trained just for 5 days. They could identify the virus in humans at a success rate of 94%, which is almost as good as the rapid test that you go and prick your finger. I think the rapid test is not as good as these dogs, as a matter of fact, I believe. Apparently, dogs have a sense of smell that is 1,000 times better than humans. It's why dogs are always sniffing everywhere. My dogs were never able to sniff anything out. I think my dogs, there's something wrong with their noses. But most dogs, yes. Now, researchers said coronavirus sniffing dogs could be used in public areas such as airports, sporting events, and borders to help prevent further outbreaks. That's pretty smart. I would love to have a coronavirus dog sniffing before I get on an airplane, wouldn't you?
I would too. Absolutely.
I think that's really smart. You know, sometimes you see them at the airport looking for bombs. Let's look for viruses too.
Yeah, for sure. Airlines aren't always taking the precautions. Like you would think that it's like one other seat.
Right.
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Right.
Uh-oh. I would feel so much more secure if there was a dog sniffing for coronavirus before I got on the plane. I would feel much more secure. All right. Now, meanwhile, who says people and their pets don't look alike? A man and his French Bulldog named Bluenjy have gone viral on TikTok and Twitter because they're adorable twinning. The four-legged friend was sitting on the top of its owner and relishing the role. Let's watch. They say this guy and him look alike? The dog and him look alike?
They don't look that much.
They don't look like that much alike. Bluenjy's owner, Evan, and Susan Ocean are people behind FrenchieStore.com, a company that makes health harnesses for dogs with special needs. Bluenjy, this particular dog, is deaf and has developed special skills to compensate for his disability. He holds things with his paws and eats them like a human, which is why they always have the pictures of him eating the same thing as his. It's very sweet, isn't it?
It's sweet.
I don't have pets, but if I had one, I would want to look at him smiling. I would want a Frenchie.
Do you like bulldogs?
Yeah,
you like bulldogs?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think they're so they're so ugly that they're cute, right? I mean, they're so ugly and they're slobbery.
I mean, they're really
cute.
You know what? Pugs. I would never. I think pugs are ugly.
Yeah.
And it comes fairly close to French
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
Why would you say ugly?
There's no dogs. I haven't seen that many ugly dogs.
Not the most flattering.
Aww.
What about a hot dog? One of those long ones that look like a hot dog? You don't like those?
The Chihuahua things and those. No.
A Dotson, it's called, yeah. People are crocheting tiny kitty couches for their favorite felines. There's a new crafting trend. People are crocheting tiny kitty couches for their favorite felines called kitty couches. And these crochet patterns are available on the internet for anybody to try. There are multiple approaches and styles of seating so they can be tailored to fit a human. So if you'd like to make your own kitty couch, you can download an entire guide from Annie's Craft Store.
I don't do cats.
Me either. I don't do cats.
I used to hate cats when I was younger. I've learned to tolerate cats. I don't know if I would buy a cat or have a cat, but I've learned to tolerate them.
You almost said love
but
cats.
maybe Carol, the top cat tigress 2 Anderson, would want to know about this information, which is why we do it. We tell this information for our squad. Without human visitors to keep them occupied, the penguins at the Newquay Zoo in Cornwall, England, had been gifted bubbles as an adorable new form of entertainment. Staffers have been trying to find new ways to keep their feathered residents entertained when the zoo patrons are not coming in. So suddenly somebody donated the bubble machine. The penguin caretaker, Dan Trevelyan, said the bubbles help to keep the penguins' predatory reflexes sharp. So there they are with the bubbles. That's hilarious. They're like little kids.
This is the most human interaction
Yeah,
for penguins.
they're like little kids with the bubble machine. It's not just us humans that want to go to Nesquik's pool. Also, big black bears as well. A woman in Virginia, Nesquik, was delighted when a large black bear decided to take a nap in a kiddie pool she had next to her backyard.
Wow.
Regina Keller's home is right by the George Washington National Forest in Fort Valley, Virginia. So she used it to a variety of furry visitors. She's used to a variety of furry visitors, including deer, bears, foxes, and squirrels. But she's never seen a big bear just go take a dip in her kids' blow-up pool. Is that hilarious?
That was Yo-Yo's this weekend. That was
that was. I thought you were going to say that was me before I got a haircut 3 weekends ago. They don't call sloths because they hate sleeping. Here is a 3-toed sloth falling asleep while getting its chin scratched in this adorable way. May we all be relaxed. Let's watch this.
Mood.
That's very cute. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.